Hey, Dave, how is Antonio Sensatella able to limit the offense today?
I think today it was a slider that was plus. He landed for a strike. He shortened it off the plate. I thought the fastball was 93 to 97, and just kept us at bay. There's nothing. We couldn't get anything together. We stressed them there in the fifth inning, but that was kind of the only time we really threatened.
And what did you think of Bruce Dargratterall coming in the fourth to get out of that bases loaded situation with 1 out?
That was a highlight of the day, to come in that spot, a big spot, and I felt that, getting out of that with no runs early in the game, I felt we were going to win that game. So he's just continuing to grow, and last year he came in and made a big splash and pitched some big innings for us, obviously through the World Series, and I think right now where he's at mentally, physically, with his delivery as well, he's as good as we've seen. A big spot for him.
And you mentioned that as being one of the positives, but with the Braves coming into town tomorrow, was this just one of those games that you guys just put behind you and get ready for tomorrow?
I think that's the best way to prepare for this next series. It's not ideal to lose a series at home, and felt we had some good momentum playing good baseball, but we got outpitched, outplayed, whatever you want to call it, in this series. So we're facing the Braves, who very talented, playing for division. So it's going to be some intensity. We know those guys really well, and just to line up Julio, Walker, and Max, I like our chances, but we got to play good baseball.
Thanks, Dave.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, it wasn't just Sensatella. You hit 184 in the series, and you've hit 178 this week. What's going on with the offense?
That's fair. I don't know. I think that there's some balls that we square up and don't have anything to show for it. I think there's some early outs, some batted bats certainly in there. It's just probably one of those funks that we're in right now. So hopefully hitting is contagious, and hopefully, we can turn it around tomorrow, because we're going to need to.
I know it didn't affect the outcome, but can you explain why you used Kenley in the eighth and ended up with Justin Turner on the mound in a 5-0 game?
Well, I think to work backwards, we had some guys that we want to stay away from. When you're down 5-0 and you've got 3 hits through 8 innings, the likelihood of come back to win. So to use a leverage guy in the 9th, I didn't feel good about that. Talked to Justin. He was on board with saving the pen, and that just speaks to, I've gone on and on about Justin. So to save our pen, a leverage guy, to be a team leader, to do it, take it for the team, that was that piece. As far as Kenley, I just felt that stay away from Blake today to potentially give us 1+ tomorrow. Kenley was on board with doing that. So it wasn't any kind of role reversal. It was more of how we're going to get through this game the best way we can.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question is from Juan Toribio. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, just kind of with that, will Kenley be down tomorrow then, or is he available to go 3 straight?
I'll see how he feels as far as pitching, but when you're talking about the closer, he's resilient. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. If it's a safe situation, I think that would be the conversation. But he's throwing the heck out of the baseball, so we'll see.
And I know you mentioned kind of just putting this one behind you, but you guys had 2 chances to cut into the Giants' lead. I mean, we have 31 games left in the regular season. Is that frustrating, disappointing that you guys couldn't really cut into that?
I just think that this series offensively was pretty frustrating, and the byproduct is we didn't gain a couple games when we had opportunities. So, regardless of how those guys play, if we're not putting good at bats together and building innings and finishing those innings, then it's all moot. So I think for us, it's just continue to focus on ourselves, pitch, play good defense, which I think we've been doing a very good job of. and now just kind of get that offense untracked.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question's from Mike DiGiovanna. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, how much consideration was given to walking CJ Cron in the first inning?
I didn't consider it, Mike, to be honest with you. I think in the first inning, 2 outs, and I understand how hot he is. I just felt that, the plan was to be more careful with Cron, and we just made a mistake and didn't execute, and he took advantage of it.
And follow up on Justin Turner, I appreciate the fact that he's a team player and all, but a 5-0 game didn't seem like the kind of deficit you bring a position player in. How did he sort of talk into that, and what's
No, I went to him, and I still think that, the way we've leaned on Alex Vesia to get him in this game, to have him down for the next day or two against the Braves in a game that, in my opinion, it was unlikely we were going to win, given how we performed offensively today and the last couple of days. So it saved the leverage arm. So I would do it again if the situation presented itself.
What'd you think of him out there?
He's a strike thrower. I think he threw one ball, put the ball in play. He worked quick, and he picked us up.
Thanks, Dave.
Next question's from Eric Steven. Go ahead.
Dave, I know you guys are carrying 10 relievers. Is this just like a remnant of that 16-inning game, still 3-4 days later in terms of
it's that it's when you're going short, when you get 3 innings today, it's kind of all a compilation. So but I think that with Justin picking up the inning, and we've got Julio and Walker and Max, that the pen will be reset, but it's a fallout from that 16-inning game.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Last one's from Bill Shaken. Go ahead, Bill.
Dave, if you get to the point of wanting to use a position player, knowing how valuable Justin is to you guys, why would he be the guy as opposed to maybe somebody who's not an everyday player?
I'd love to know another option, Bill. I think that there's things that get thrown out there all the time, but if there's a better solution or option that you have, I'd like to hear it, given where we're at in the game, instead of just asking a question like that.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.